Virgo, welcome to my channel, Starchaeology Tarot. I am Desi. I am so honored to be reading your cards for January 2022. Thank you for being here. If you found this video, you are supposed to be here. And as I call in source energy, spirit, your guides, your masters, your angels and archangels, they are all joining me now because they also knew that you would be here at this precise moment. You are an intended, chosen part of this collective. And this is good for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I highly encourage you to watch your other placements because you are just so gosh darn complex, layered, and nuanced, and your sun sign is only a piece of the beautiful puzzle that is you. I'm interested today, Spirit, in any messages that will help Virgo best align with their highest self, their highest path, their highest good. What are those messages for January 2022 for Virgo? Nope, that was way too many cards to fly out. Nice try though. Maybe Spirit's got a lot to say to you, Virgo, this month. Let's take it step by step, one message at a time. What are the messages for Virgo? Seven of Wands, Four of Pentacles, and advice is Eight of Swords. Woo! This is a spicy spread here, Virgo. So, wow, you are, the situation you find yourself in January, you guys are fighters. You're fighting through something. You're pushing through something, wading through the swamp of some sort of process, adventure, journey that you've been on. Many of you are speaking up. You're speaking up for yourself. You're speaking up on behalf of someone else. You're advocating for someone else. Some of you are literally lawyers and you're facing this, or you're dealing with a lawsuit. And this is about very literally advocating for a story, advocating for a story, advocating for people, if not yourself. Those of you who are not really involved in any sort of lawsuit, it's like a metaphorical lawsuit. It's like you are fighting your case so hard in January. You are I'm hearing for some of you, it's almost a test of your beliefs. It's a test of your mission. It's a test of your purpose. And it's particularly hard, I think, for some of you resisting this kind of confrontation that is maybe necessary when fighting your case, when advocating for yourself or for someone else. It's especially hard because you're very close to the finish line. You're close to the goal here. And sevens always come up when it's like we are in just whatever it is, it's a particular challenge in our journey that we haven't faced before. And it comes right at that end point as like this last attempt to make us give up. It's like, oh, they're so close to this ending point. And Divine is like, okay, here's this one last challenge that I'm gonna put in their path and see how they deal. If it's like they've come this far, are they going to give up, or are they going to push through this? Are they going to grow their way through this? That's what I'm seeing for you, Virgo. So many of you, you really are standing your ground. You are You are advocating. You are fighting your way through. This is like very classic Seven of Wands energy. You're just like, I am ready to battle. I am ready to fight through this. I'm in fighting position. I'm not like, and I'm not waiting for it to come to me. It's like I'm proactive. I'm on the offense and the defense, but I'm like, I'm both, and I'm like proactive about it. I'm just getting it done. The obstacle here is we have this Four of Pentacles. In the process of fighting through, of advocating for yourself or for someone else, pushing your way along your soul's path and your mission. I'm hearing different things. Some of you are facing someone who will not let go in some way. They are adamantly, they are so stubborn. They will not let go. They will not concede. And it's making your fight more difficult because you feel like you are directly fighting them. Like they are your enemy, and because they're not letting go, because they are so like they have this white knuckled grip on, whatever it is that they need to surrender, it just feels almost like this impossible like task, like this draining fight that's like never gonna end. They are really standing their ground in some way, and I'm hearing like a lack of generosity on their part. They're not really seeing the world generously. They don't have a sense of faith or a belief system that they will be supported if they let go. So they are white knuckling this almost it's like a survival mechanism. It's a survival response. It's like no one's looking out for them except for themselves. So they cannot in any way let go, because whether there really is a threat or life or death is, up for question, up for debate. What matters is their perceived reality is that this is life or death, and they have to hold on. If they lose this, they lose everything. Oh dear, I'm yawning. Which tells me there's some sort of catharsis going on there for that person. They need to let go of something. That's what yawning means in many healing practices. Others of you who don't have this clear obstacle of a person in your path, someone who's holding on, the obstacle is your own attachment. The obstacle as you're fighting through this is that there is something that you need to surrender, that you need to let go of. It's like, I'm fighting for this new future, but at the same time, I'm holding on to the past. Like, I want this new future so bad, I want this goal so bad, but I'm gonna bring all this baggage with me because I can't let this baggage go. I can't leave this in the past if I'm gonna embrace the future. We gotta like make the past and the future both work together. And the universe is like, no, that's not how it works. There is something that you need to let go of if you really, honestly, genuinely want to embrace this future thing that you say you want to embrace. There is a leap of faith involved there, right? Because that Four of Pentacles is all about like releasing your tight grip on something, because you can't receive with a closed hand. You can't receive with fists. You receive when you let go. When you let something, it's like, okay, I'm not gripping this anymore. Now I have an open hand. I can receive something better. I can receive something bigger than the thing that I let go of. So that obstacle, your own attachment to something, and your fear of letting go of that is the obstacle here for you. The advice, Virgo, whether this is yourself or it is someone else, the advice here is to reverse this energy. The advice here is to set yourself free. The advice here is to recognize the limitations. I'm yawning again, so this is important. God, this happens in readings. When I feel like when I'm very connected to the viewer. What is necessary is that you not only release these things that you are so attached to, but that you release the stories that you are telling yourself about this thing that you won't let go of. That you release the beliefs that you have, that you tell yourself about this thing, about what this thing means, the meaning, the value behind it. The truth is when Eight of Swords appears, it's like, it doesn't matter if this is another person, if this is a person that is in your way. We can never control someone who's in our way. All we can control is where we go. So if you're so focused on defeating this other person, this, if this is someone else in your path, then you fail to see all of the detours you can take, all the other paths where this person does not exist. Because you might have this like tunnel vision, these blinders on this one path. Like, well, I can't do anything. My hands are tied. This person's here, so I can't do anything as long as they're there. But the truth is, you're limiting yourself in some way too by hyper-focusing on this path as the only path. There are more than one way. There is more than one way. There are more ways than one to skin a cat. That took so many edits. There are more ways than one to skin a cat. I'm still saying this the most awkward way possible, but anyway. Yeah, and believing that there's only one way to skin a cat is what's limiting you in some way. It's what's keeping you trapped in some way. It's like you're trapped on this path that you think you have to be on, when in fact there are more creative solutions. There are alternatives that you might find if you were able to be like, well, what am I believing here that's limiting me? How am I approaching this that's keeping me small, that's keeping me restricted, keeping me trapped? What do I believe about myself, about my own potential? What do I believe about what needs to happen between me and this other person, or me and whatever the obstacle is, my own attachments? My beliefs about all of that. What of those beliefs are negatively impacting me in some way, and maybe are keeping me, like, imprisoning me in some way, right? Because Eight of Swords means that, but it's like a prison of our mind. It's a prison of our mind that we create. There is no captor here. These ropes, these things that what we've tied ourselves up with are loose. They're loose. They could fall right off if we just decide, like, wait, I don't want to be trapped here anymore. I want to rejoin society. So I'm seeing some sort of, like, even a sense of, like, isolation and burden only on yourself that is adding to the burden and overwhelm and pressures and stakes of this fight. It's making this fight even harder, Virgo. So the biggest thing is to unblock that Eight of Swords energy and recognize there are things that you cannot change, but if you can change the things that you can, if you can liberate yourself in the ways that you are able to liberate yourself, then it doesn't matter. Then this obstacle doesn't matter. This obstacle is one obstacle in a myriad of timelines. This obstacle is one obstacle in just a myriad of possibilities. So you choose a different possibility instead. I hope that's clear, Virgo. I would love to hear how this looks specifically for you in your life, so feel free to comment below and share. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that. Your support means everything. And if you want to support this channel even more, if you want to help me help you better with more tarot readings, longer readings, more intensive readings, extensive readings, specific reasons, specific readings, please check out my Patreon below. It's linked below, and you can support my work for a few dollars a month. It's the cost of a drink per month. There's also opportunities to have more personalized, individualized tarot support each month, cards that I pull specifically for you, questions of yours that I answer each month. So if you want to, if you like that kind of more tailored, customized support, check out my Patreon for that reason as well. I love you so much, Virgo. I am rooting for you. I also feel called just to say that you're stronger than you know. You really are. And sometimes your strength you use against yourself. So if you feel particularly restricted, you feel particularly trapped, it may be because you are exerting your own strength on yourself. And that should be a testament, again, to your strength, to the degree of your strength. This is an opportunity for you to direct that strength elsewhere, to use that strength to support you rather than to resist something within yourself. Use that strength to push you along, not keep you still, if that makes sense. Thanks again for being here, and wishing you the best 2022, Virgo. I'll see you next time.